Hi boys and girls, so I'm going to show you a follow-up activity for the book that I just read to you called Not Quite a Narwhal, and I thought it would be a cute activity to do since we didn't really get around to the letter U, and I thought that we could do this activity for U for unicorn. And so I've attached the file where you can find the same things that I'm using on our site, and I've also our Google Classroom site, and I've also started ahead of time. So first I colored, then I cut mostly. I have one more thing to cut, and then now I'm gonna glue. But before I glue, so here are the parts. I'll show you real quick. I have the head that I colored. I have this part. I have the body that I've colored. I have a tail. I have a horn, and I also have some spots, but we'll talk about the spots in a minute. So this is the little mask shield for Not Quite Narwhal. So I'm going to show you real quick how you're supposed to cut it out so that it works for this art project. So I'm going to fold it in half, and then I'm going to use my scissors, and I'm going to just make a slit so that I don't make a crease in the paper. And now I have a hole in it. Hello. And I'm going to stick my scissors in the hole. Whoop. And I'm going to cut out the inside circle so that it is going to look like the mask or not necessarily a mask, but like the little bubble that the unicorn uses so that it can breathe underwater while it is living, with the narwhals. So I'm just going to cut that out real quick. And now I have this circle that I can put my hand through. So we're going to start to glue now. So I've colored. Step 1, color. Step 2, cut. Now we're going to glue. So here's the body of my narwhal. Or not narwhal, not quite a narwhal, I should say. Oh. I've clipped it on to my little board there. You can see its foot hanging down. I'll turn this way. Maybe I'll tilt that. I'm going to glue its tail on right there. So all I'm going to do is take my glue stick, put a little tiny glue right there, and I'm going to glue its tail on. And near its tail, if you look at the picture of the book, the unicorn has some spots, and I'm going to put some glue right here on its hind quarters, I will say. Kind of like, for those of you that know My Little Pony, it's kind of like a cutie mark. These were tricky to cut out, and you might be feeling a little frustrated while you are cutting them out. If you are feeling frustrated while you cut out these little tiny dots, and I hope I have all of them. I feel like I might have lost a couple of them as I was walking over here, but that's okay. Anyway, if these dots were too hard for you to cut out and you were feeling really frustrated, another option is to draw them on instead. So if you were feeling like that was super frustrating and they didn't turn out the way you were wanting, it's okay. Nobody's expecting you to be perfectly perfect. We're all practicing. So you can go ahead and draw them on if that didn't turn out the way you were wanting. And so now I've got my body with a tail and some cute little spots, and I'm going to glue the head on. So I'm going to take my glue stick, again, put a little glue on the head right there, and I'm going to attach the body to it like that. Ta-da! And of course, it can't be a unicorn without the horns. So I'm going to put a little glue on the end of my unicorn horn, and I'm going to stick it like so. So the last couple steps into making our not quite a narwhal unicorn is we have this little mask like I was talking about, or the bubble that goes around the unicorn so that it can breathe underwater. And remember, in all the pictures it looked kind of like that, where it was going around it so that it could breathe underwater. So you could just glue it just like that, the way that you have it, or you can take some cling wrap. I have holiday. Oh, I just realized this is green, but that's okay. Yours could be green, or it could be, yours is most likely clear and will look a little bit better than mine. But oh well, we'll go with green. Because I think I don't have regular cling wrap, and that's okay. No big deal. Green's a fun color. So I'm going to measure and make sure, yep, that's plenty. So I'm going to rip it off, have an adult help you with this part because it is sharp. And then what you do is you're going to take this part, the part that's going to go around it, and you're going to put glue all around it. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to go all the way around it. I'm getting glue all over my board, but that's okay. Oop. All right, I think I have glue all around my ovalish. I think that's definitely more of an oval than a circle. So now I have glue around there, and I'm going to take my lovely green cling wrap that I wasn't planning on it being green. Usually it's clear. I just didn't check, but you know, we just these days especially we use what we've got. So take your cling wrap and make sure it doesn't stick to each other, and we're going to stick it to this oval. And so it's there. I'm going to smooth it out, pull it so that there's not big bubbles. All right. And now I'm creating like a bubble that's going to go around my unicorn's head. However, I have a lot left over here that's kind of hanging off, and I don't really want that part. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim it. So I'm going to take my scissors. This is tricky too. So if this, again, is proving to be frustrating, because I'm having a hard time even with adult scissors cutting this excess cling wrap, and maybe I just need to start. There we go. Okay, once I got started, but if you need an adult's help, that's okay. You can ask for some help, and I'm sure they will happily help you. See, look at, oh man, I started to cut and I barely made a dent because it's starting to tear. So maybe what I'll do is I'll kind of fold it over like that. See how it's stuck on the back like that? And maybe I'll cut it from this side. But since this is my first time making this project, we just have to kind of try things and see what works. And that works. Actually, I'm just going to go like this and kind of cheat. Oh, I'm tearing it. It's okay. Oop. Maybe it's not okay. Anyway, I'm going to continue to cut the excess off so that it doesn't look like a big green blob. And I highly suggest getting an adult to help you because this is tricky. And thankfully it's still kind of staying in contact. And I'm just going to fold this part over so that it's part of my rim. Oh, that part can go. And maybe that'll work a little bit better. So that, see how I'm just scrunching it up along the rim so you don't see it when I glue it, but it's also not going to be a big deal if I don't cut it. And I'll just add to how fancy my project is. sometimes, like we learned a lot in TK when we were together, we want to try our best, and it definitely doesn't need to be perfectly perfect. So when I turn it around, it kind of looks like a little bubble. There's definitely parts that I'd like to fix, and I might go back and fix after this video, but for the essence of time, just kind of pushing it back together. And you can take your time to make it look really lovely, but we don't need this video to be a half hour. So we're going to move on. Now that I have the plastic around my unicorn or mask, like I said, if you don't have plastic wrap at home, don't stress. It'll still look cute without it. And if you happen to have only green colored, it still looks pretty cool. It looks like she's, or he, kelp was a boy, I believe, so it still looks like they're underwater. So now I'm just going to take some glue, and I'm going to put it right here so that my mask can go like so, and later I will fix that. And there we have it. I might adjust it a little. We have a U for a unicorn craft that goes along with our Narwhal book, and it's my version of kelp, and I hope you have fun creating yours as well. All right, thanks so much. Good luck making yours. Bye.